Boy, this Ryan Clark, RG3 situation, man, this thing has been blowing up. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know it was going to blow up this much. But, I mean, dang. I mean, I can see both sides of the story and why it can be, why it can be hurtful on both sides. So I'll start with Ryan Clark. Like, I mean, I ain't really had too much of a problem with what Ryan Clark said, but I probably wouldn't bring family into it. Just cause the way it looked. I probably would just kind of keep it to RG3. But that's all bad I got to say about Ryan Clark. Like, to be honest, I'm on Ryan Clark's side on this. Because RG3, like, you kind of brought this on yourself, bro. So I'm gonna have to go Ryan Clark on this one, because RG3, I mean, if people watch your podcast, they watch your TikTok, your social media, man, you always letting people know that you in an interracial relationship. You always let us know. So you make jokes about it. You bring it up. And it's the same thing y'all say about Angel Reese. Oh, Angel, you brought it on yourself because of the things that you have said. Okay, we can say the same thing about RG3. RG3, you brought it on yourself because you constantly doing it. And so you did mention the word, hate, which I don't know how you can get that from that file, but you did mention it, so you got to own that. I don't know how you can even say that just off that file when everybody does it. So you got to own that, RG3. Also, man, sometimes you got to look at time and place, for your situation. So RG3, when you said all those things and you were criticizing Angel, a black woman, you do know that you had your wife in the background and you was shaking your head as if you was like mocking Angel. And you was, you had her in the background shaking her head and all that type of stuff. So the way it looked, RG3, man, it looked like you was caping. I know they saying Ryan Clark was caping, but it looked like RG3 was, he was caping and pandering to his, and it seemed like his wife was like, yeah, you show him when, all that ain't even necessary. Even if that's not what RG3 was trying to imply, that's just the way it looked. So I'm just gonna say, man, RG3, you gotta own that, man. If you gonna go on there and you gonna have a platform and you got a whole thing with her in the background, shaking her head and all that type of stuff, and she's of a different color, and you criticizing another woman of a different color than what you're married to, yeah, you gonna get that smoke. And Ryan Clark gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was an even more terrible look on RG3 for when his response back to Ryan Clark, he didn't have his wife in the background then. She wasn't in the background. So when you were criticizing Angel, you had her in the background shaking her head and everything. And then when you responds back to Ryan Clark, oh, you took her off the background. So that lets you know right there, okay, you changed that up. Stand on business, RG3. See, that's what we were saying. Hey, you got to stand on business what you say. If she was in the background, when you criticizing Angel, then when he came back, you should have had her in the background doing the same thing. But that's not standing on business. You changed that up, RG3, man. I had to go Ryan Clark on that one.